Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Longhorn Radio.
We are your podcast commission.
And welcome to our episode 10 special,
Dear Future Self.
Before we get started, for all the students who are taking AP tests, we wish you the best of luck for these upcoming weeks.
All right, now let's get rolling on with the episode, which I am super excited for. I can't believe we are at episode 10 already, guys. It feels like just yesterday, we started the podcast.
We've come so far already.
I know, our little podcast baby is growing up. Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
So, as previously mentioned, our little activity for today is called Dear Future Self.
The name makes it very straightforward. So basically, all four of us have prepared little points or messages for ourselves 2 years in the future.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, we might just respond to these 2 years from now. You look out for that.
Ooh, all right. So let's jump into it. Who would like to get the ball rolling and, have a little message for their 2-year-old or future self?
Let me whip out my notes app real quick. Hold on.
I could start us off. Mine's pretty straightforward. Hope you guys aren't upset with me. It's lacking a bit of detail, but it's really straightforward and it's very true. Because right now, one of my biggest problems is figuring out what I want to do with my life. Seems a little bit, hefty, but I think that with college coming up, I'm a junior going into senior year right now. I have to decide what I want to major in, and it feels like I'm deciding the rest of my life right now. So I guess wherever I am in 2 years, I hope I'm doing something that I love and something that I enjoy doing, because I really struggle with, deciding, should I choose what I want to choose or something that will be, better for me money-wise or safer. So I'm hoping that wherever I am in 2 years, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my life. I'm happy that I chose the path I chose, and I'm doing well. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's very simple.
No, I think that's something a lot of people can relate to. I feel like all of us are, most of us are like worried about what we're going to do later in the future because it's very unpredictable, So yeah, I totally get that. So Elizabeth, do you have your notes whipped out and ready
My
to
notes
go?
have been, in fact, whipped out.
Nice.
So, kind of adding on to Desi's point, in 2 years, well, Shreya and I are both going to be seniors, and by now we will like pretty much know what colleges we got into, which is kind of insane to think about. I also, like Desi said, I hope that whatever path I choose is going to suit me best and make me happy and like be the right choice for me. Because although I would want to choose a path that will help me out financially and stuff, I also want to choose a path that I'll be happy with and I will want to pursue that for the rest of my life.
Right.
I don't ever want to get bored of it, I don't want to just be working in an office job, just doing the same old every single day in a repetitive life.
The thing is, though, I feel like those, cubicle cookie cutter jobs are the ones that are always the most safe. And I feel like I'm just going to end up choosing something like that. But then I'll realize, like, man, this is boring, Because all the fun jobs, like being a photographer or traveling or something, they aren't necessarily considered very, what's the word? Stable or prestigious occupations, right? But they're the ones that are more enticing and they're more exciting, right?
Definitely.
Well, I guess actually, Shreya, I guess it might seem that way. I remember watching a video about this, how people who live that Instagram life, and their captions are always like, live your life, quit your day job and go to the Bahamas and just live your life, go backpacking in the Himalayas and just experience life. Like, that is made out to seem like the goal in social media, but in reality, we're not going to be able to do that. And we should be we should understand that our lives are not going to surmount to some crazy backpacking journey throughout Europe or whatever. And that shouldn't be the goal either. That should be just, we should understand that that's just the image social media portrays. So even though what you're saying is right, there are many ways to live your life as a actress or as a photographer, things that are a bit more risky, a bit harder to make it big. I feel like and this is what I was saying, like, I hope I'm happy, but at the same time, I hope I'm doing something that I can really benefit from, and that work is work for a reason. We need to work. We can't just enjoy ourselves all the time. And the best combination is to work while doing something you enjoy. But even when that can't happen, I hope I'm in a place where I can bear my work. And even when I'm not working, I can spend the fruits of my labor doing something that I actually do love. And even if that might not be backpacking through Europe, as I said, probably 50 times, I hope I can spend that time doing, other things, spending it with my family, friends, that kind of stuff.
No, yeah, I hope that, right now, or well, not right now, like before COVID, we used to go on like really fun vacations every summer. So I see myself doing that. Like, even though I have like a whatever boring air quote job, I think it'll be something that, hopefully it's something that I'm passionate about and still get to like let go every once in a while and do something fun in my free time. But, jobs are way too far in the future. We're talking about two selves ahead. So let me go back to that before we stray a little bit too far. So like Elizabeth said, in 2 years, we're both going to be seniors. So by that time, I hope that I am proud of everything I've done over the 4 years of my high school experience. I hope that I'm content with every decision I made and content with the amount of work and hard work and hours that I've put into, everything that I've done. And I hope that it was all worth it, and that will be able to look back at myself and be like, oh, so proud of you, girl. You did so good. You worked so hard. You should be proud of yourself. And I hope that I don't have any regrets. I mean, everyone obviously has some little regrets over there, but overall, I hope that I'm happy with myself and that I am looking forward to a more brighter future, probably going to a college that I really like and that's on the bucket list. And yeah, I know that sounds super basic, but that's literally all that I want. I hope that I've gotten good grades, and I hope that I've, stayed on task, haven't been procrastinating. So yeah, but also, I don't know if I'm the only person here, but I often compare my good grades to like my self-worth. Is that just me?
No.
I mean, totally. I feel like a lot of students struggle with that.
No, yeah, because I often feel like, oh, if I don't get an A in this, then I'm not gonna succeed in life. And I get trapped in a wormhole of those thoughts every once in a while, and that really scares me and freaks me out, and I get panic attack, and it's very scary. So yeah, I hope my future self is a little more relaxed and a little happier and proud of herself.
At
so
first,
yeah,
that's a very common concern. Very recent example actually. Last Friday I had my calc final, and I remember it was 12 at night, and I was studying. I was like, you know what? I better just go get my sleep. I did what I did. It is what it is. This test grade will not define the rest of my life. Imagine yourself 5 years in the future going, where did it all go wrong? Oh, right, the math final in 11th grade. That's where it all went wrong. No, you're not going to say that.
Yeah.
It's something that I've had conversations about this with my parents before, about how there's so many examples of people just excelling in fields where they find interesting because they worked hard. And it does not mean that you have to have perfect straight A's. It just means that you have to find something that you're passionate about and use that to either, enrich your community and make something great out of it. So a lot of the time your grades even though it's good to keep them up, your grades do not have to define you. And it's something that I have to remind myself every so often. Like you said, Shreya, I think a lot of people struggle with that, but it's definitely not the end of the world.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, I used to kind of feel like that, like, oh, if I don't do well on this, that's gonna be so bad. But then I realized, like, think about this: when you're like 30 and you're like in your passionate job, you're living your life as an average 30-year-old probably. You're not gonna go, remember that math test that I failed? You're really just not gonna think about that. And like,
all right, maybe I jumped the gun with saying that. Sorry to interrupt, but like, maybe you won't go, I failed that math test, but you might go, I got B's in math. That was not good. So at the same time, maybe what I said, like, thinking about it, you might look back and go, if only I had straight A's in high school. See, so maybe not.
Well,
but that does not mean that your grades define you. That does not mean that those B's will not get you into some incredible college. I know this one guy, I read a story about him actually while researching, like things to do for college apps. And he did really bad in all of his English classes, like horrible, like C's. He was not doing well. But on his math classes, he had okay grades. And he was able to develop some product that he was able to sell for over like 200 million when he was just like a freshman in college or something. What? And so he just dropped out and now he's living his best life. Oh. So it's like there's you don't know what course life will take you on. And I think that's like the main theme of today's discussion is spontaneity. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Spontaneity, right?
Spontaneity.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And like, we don't know where life will take us, but wherever it does, I feel like we all can agree that we hope that we're being happy and safe and healthy.
Yeah, I know. I just feel like whatever college you get into, that is gonna, like, say I get into a college that I'm not satisfied with, I feel like automatically like, okay, Shreya, you have failed in your journey of life. And that's like how I like often think. But I was talking to my dad like last semester, sorry, when I had like a lot of anxiety issues and stuff like that. And like, I was not in a good place last semester. And I was often like thinking in that wormhole, and I was talking to my dad, and then he's like, it doesn't matter what college you get into, it matters what your passions are. And if you have a drive and a sincerity to do something big and to work really hard, then I think that's all that really matters because, yeah.
Yes. Period. Exactly. Yes. Not to mention that there's so many options. Like you don't have to go. A lot of people, including myself, are considering going to community college before going to, more private schools, more advanced, institutions first, because that kind of like, I don't know what I want to do. So why would I go and pay so much money for courses that I'm just taking in order to stall my graduation, right? So there's so many options. You can go to a really bad undergraduate school and then go to like Stanford for your graduate degree, right? It doesn't matter whatsoever. I know. I keep bringing up this evidence with these random people you guys don't know, but family friend of mine went to college in this small school in Bulgaria, and then she went there and she got her graduate degree at Oxford. And it's like, you don't have to start off big right away. Like you can work up to that goal. So many people attend these crazy schools just later in life when they're more ready for it. And I feel like a lot of students feel like they have to get into Stanford immediately after high school, that they have to go into the highest classes, get the highest grades. And it's just, there's so many different options in life. So I hope people don't feel completely trapped by that.
Yeah. Y'all, this got deep. Our title is super cute. It's like, Dear Future Self. Haha. And now we're talking about... No, I love this. This is what's great about our discussions. I love this. All right, Emily, what is your little message to your future self 2 years from now? Let's hear from you.
I think the most important part is that I'm going to be a junior 2 years from now. And I think that's a period of my life where I have to be really working super hard because everybody else is working super hard. But I think for myself, I want to just not be as stressed about what's going to happen during that time, and instead schedule myself well so I know what I'm doing. And instead of feeling stressed, I want to be happy with what I'm doing. Instead of trying to prove myself to the people around me, I want to do it for myself. If I get A's, I don't want to just have A's because I can brag to my friends or I can tell my parents, but I want to be happy with my A's and be grateful for the amount of effort I've put in and thankful that that's happened through my efforts and not just because the people around me have told me consistently that I need to get great grades or anything like that.
Oh, I love that. That's great. I love how we're setting these goals for ourselves. Love the vibes here. Great stuff.
Yeah. Adding on to Emily's point, I feel like being proud of what you've accomplished and doing things for yourself rather than just to say to your parents, "Oh my gosh, look, I got straight A's. Are you proud of me?" It's good to be proud of yourself and be able to have that validation for yourself. And I think that those goals that you set for yourself are really great.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Thank you to our lovely listeners for tuning in today, and we hope you all enjoyed this episode just as much as we did, and hopefully you guys learned a little something.
Yeah. Now, before we send you off, don't forget to subscribe and follow the family Instagram account for all things Lee. Remember, you can be a future guest and join us on the podcast to discuss a topic of your choice by filling out the form linked below in the description and in the family Instagram bio.
Thanks for tuning into Longhorn Radio. Elizabeth,
Shreya,
Desi,
and Emily signing out.